The troubles for General Motors worsened today. The automaker now admits that it knew about ignition switch problems in some of its compact cars as early as 2001. Now that was 3 years earlier than previously reported. Those faulty switches resulted in dozens of accidents and 12 deaths. Phil LeBeau joins us now from Chicago with more on the deepening crisis at GM. So, you know what's, questionable here, Phil, is if GM knew about the ignition all the way back to 2001, why didn't they do more about it?
What's unclear when you look at the documents is whether or not this was looked at as an isolated incident. And the 2001 incident was actually a pre-production model Saturn Ion that a technician saw stall. They looked at it, did some analysis, filed a report, and then there wasn't another report until 2003 when a dealership had a technician realized that there was a Saturn Ion that had a stall. Another report was filed. So the question becomes, did they look at these as isolated incidents, Susie, or did they look at this and say, now this could be the tip of the iceberg of something bigger here? And that's what investigators are still trying to determine.
Seems like they did fail to put two and two together, or one and one together in this particular case. Why, I guess, is really the story here. Phil, the Transportation Secretary was up on the Hill today, and he was getting questioned about the recall.
Right.
Did the government drop the ball on this at all?
Well, a lot of people in Washington seem to think so because you had 3 accident investigations that were done by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and there was no recall. In fact, there wasn't a recall until February of this year after they had a chance to analyze a multitude of more cases and examples. Here's the Transportation Secretary defending how NHTSA conducted itself over the last 10 years.
Over the last decade, there were complaints related to this particular vehicle, and despite 3 crash investigations and other research, the data was inconclusive. It just didn't point to a formal investigation.
Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say. You had more than 240 complaints about vehicles stalling, an average of 2 per month. How could you not connect the dots here? And that's the main question that's going to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
And that's a question that a lot of customers are going to be asking as well. So, what do you think customers need to hear from GM at this point, and how forgiving can GM customers be?
A lot more forgiving than you think. What do they need to hear from General Motors? I think when it's all said and done, whether that comes out in the next 3 weeks or 2 months from now when the investigations are over, they want to hear everything. Not partial, not we think, not, well, there were some incidents, but we looked the other way, or we misjudged things. Everything. Get it out there. And I believe that Mary Barra, the CEO, is going to take that approach. She's going to throw it all out there, almost in effect saying, we made a mistake here. And they will be forgiving to a large extent, Susie. Remember what happened with Toyota? They still had a lot of customers come back even after everything.
Boy, absolutely the case, and that was some 4 years ago with the floor mats in the car. Phil LeBeau, thank you very much.